Good now, everyone. I hope this broadcast finds you well. My name is Artorius Winchester, Scholar of the Dreaming Glade, and welcome back to another cocktail stream, which is technically still in September. I'm on track for my one a month. Just about. I hope you've all been doing well anyway, since our last one, which, yeah, it was last month, right? I'm not completely wrong about the whole on track for one a month thing, I think. No, it wouldn't have been last month, because last month was August, and I was away in Japan for all of August, so it'd be 2 months ago. Weird. Doesn't feel that long ago. But anyway, yeah. I've come up with a couple of new drinks based on a couple of VTubers, as per normal, which is how these streams work in case you've never been here before. So I'm going to be kind of going through the ingredients I've used to make them, what I was kind of going for when I was making them. And yeah, hopefully we're going to make some tasty drinks out of them. I won't dilly-dally too long on this bit. And, oh god, assuming I can get my... Yeah. If it takes me slightly long to do things, it's because this setup is very much hanging on by a thread in a lot of respects. There's a lot of, not... stuff that isn't currently... Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. There is some stuff that is currently scuffed. But, there's also some stuff that is just so close to outright not working. And I've got to be a bit careful with it here. But yeah, VTuber Cocktails, the 5th episode. Let's, well, the 5th round, or whatever you want to call it. Let's get it started. So, our first VTuber, who we're going to be making cocktails for, is none other than... Sarah's Fauna, Hololive Council's own Mother Nature. As I'm sure some of you will guessed by the thumbnail, that apple she holds in her hand is very distinctive. And honestly, kind of kicking myself because of some observations I made and some I didn't make. But we'll get on to that in a minute. First up, we've got to decide what kind of drink we're making for her, or at least what the drink I made ended up as, which I was going to use these as planning when I first started doing these streams. Now it's kind of the other way around, where it's just like, it's not so much this is how I want the drink to be, but more this is how the drink ended up, and I'm going to justify it from that. So, first up on the old flavour scale there, we're going slightly into bitter with this. Yeah, while it could be argued that obviously, you know, her being, you know, well, nature's all like fruit and stuff, that's all sweet, right? And you are correct, and to be fair, there is fruit juice in this drink. Not apple juice, despite the fact she's holding a golden apple. For some reason, I didn't twig that. But, yeah, that aside. God, that would have been so good in so many ways as well. Oh well. Yeah, not apple juice, but there is fruit juice in this. Which I have just realised I forgot to grab. So I will grab that in a minute. Yes, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, slightly bitter. I also kind of lent into a lot of the kind of like liqueurs and stuff that had very kind of like natural you know, like combinations of herbs, I believe is the best way to explain it. It'll be more obvious once I show you the actual ingredient list, but this did end up leaning slightly bitter, and obviously because, you know, fauna is Mother Nature, you know, I think having something just slightly on the bitter end is kind of a bit more refined, and I think fits that whole whole thing she's got going on there, shall we say. There's a technical term for it, but the word escapes me right now. Next up, alcoholic strength. We are going for kind of mid-strong. Again, I'm leaning back on this whole, you know, Mother Nature thing. I think having something of moderate strength is definitely, you know, not bad for fauna. She's not, you know, like, as far as I'm concerned, an alcoholic heavyweight. I'm not even sure she drinks, to be fair. But, yeah, like, I don't think doing something that would be weak would be kind of doing the power of nature a disservice here in a way. Yeah. Then, next up, fairly simple drink. There's a couple of ingredients involved, but, like, you don't have to do anything fancy with it. Like, you're not going to have to get any, like, egg whites or, you know, you don't have to, like, blend anything. So, it's essentially just put things in a shaker and shake it. Honestly, it should be a bit further down the simple scale now that I'm thinking about it, but these things are what they are. And finally, on the hot-cold front, you'll notice that for once I haven't put things on the cold end. Now, that's because I had a bit of a revelation. in that while hot-cold can be viewed as kind of a binary, it can also be viewed as, like, I guess kind of a scale. So I've poured it, like, this is still a cold drink, as in I'm not heating it up, but I'm not, you know, serving it on the rocks or adding ice, like, over it. And honestly, I think there's probably a variation of this drink that you could do, like, you know, warmed or mulled, maybe. And it might not be terrible. I haven't tried a version of that, though, so I could be entirely wrong. But I know something about the flavour of it, just, unlike, you know, the way it goes down makes me feel like, yeah, this might be nice as a hot drink. Anyway. So, a couple of other notes on this one. So, as I kind of mentioned previously, I wanted to make something that's kind of got a very natural, herby type flavour to it. Because, you know, we're picking off all of nature's bounty. The fruits are obviously the main things to go for, but we're talking Mother Nature here. We're talking slightly more refined. I'm thinking, you know, some kind of herby liqueurs to give it a... Well, I say herby liqueurs. A herby liqueur. One that's... might be two. Depends on whether you count cocoa leaves or not. But yeah, that kind of... We're going for that kind of slightly more refined vibe as opposed to the, you know, I've fallen over in a sweet shop kind of, you know, million fruits vibe. And the next thing, which I think I did get down very well, is that this mainly, or at least half the ingredients in this, I should say, just under half if you don't count the syrup, if you do count the syrup even, a lot of the ingredients in this are green. However, the final drink is not, and there's a reason for this that I'll explain once the drink's made. But I ought to probably stop holding things back for later points and just make the damn drink, shall I? So, now presenting, which I will get up and type in a minute because my keyboard is not within sitting range. Natural Remedy. The cocktail for Sarah's Fauna. Right, let me go type that in, and then we'll get on to making the drink. Hey, there we go, that should be on screen now. And speaking of things that should be on screen now, let me turn this on and... Ooh, almost. Hold on, I need to just... this way a little. Excuse me, things I should have done really before stream, but for those of you who haven't clocked, I'm streaming this camera bit at least off my phone. And it had sod all charge, so it's just spent the last hour on charge. I'm going to hope it lasts for all of this stream. Should probably move that back a bit as well. I'll just get things out of frame where I can. Particularly when they're not involved in this drink. That'll do. Right. So, one natural remedy. Our first ingredient in this, it's one of our couple of green ingredients that I mentioned, is we're going to be doing 2 ounces of this beautiful stuff right... Is that in frame? Oh, yeah, kind of. Sorry, I just covered it up with something. Screen real estate is a bit... Come on. There we go, there we go. That's going to get covered up by that, though. You know what? That covers up chat. Damn, where do I put this? Well, this I put in the drink. But my notes and such... You know what, actually, down here's fine. Okay, so this is Agwa de Bolivia. It is a, as it kind of says quite prominently there, a cocoa leaf liqueur. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's super chocolatey, but it has some, obviously, you know, it's the same root leaf. It has some of that same character. It's very interesting, and it's also bright green, which was kind of one of my main criteria of picking these things. It's just like, yeah, just give me green things. And it happened to work out quite well. Because I relied on a couple of other drinks I've made in the past to kind of help balance this one up. Right, so we're going to want, I can get all this in shot, 2 ounces of this Agua de Bolivia. There is one. And here is a second. There we go. Cap back on this. Down here, 'cause it's easier. Because, you know what? I'll do the showing off the bottles and putting things in the drinks bits there, but, boy, am I trying not to spill anything. Or, like, reach over a lot, really. Because, like, you've got to understand, I've got to, like, bear hug a camera, light, and mic setup and my cocktail shaker to get my hands here. It's a lot more of a stretch than people think. Anyway. Our next ingredient, also green, and significantly more on the fruity side, for those of you who wanted that. We're looking at some good old Midori Melon Liqueur. Which is a very sweet thing. It'll help sweeten this drink up a lot. Which, to be fair, it needs a little bit of, but, yeah, not too much. So we're just going to put in an ounce of this. And it's more of that green stuff. Right. Then, have a look what we got next. Ah, yes, okay. So, speaking of sweetening things up, I'm going to get our next ingredient, which is going to be 1/4 of an ounce, so nothing too crazy, but 1/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. So this is a simple syrup that I've actually made myself. For those of you who don't know what a simple syrup is, we are looking at here basically like a 2-to-1, or as near as I can get it, mixture of sugar and water. So 2 parts sugar to 1 part water, which essentially makes like liquid sugar that you can pour into drinks. Now I say as close to 2-to-1 as I can get, because you might notice at the bottom of this, if I bring it right up there, like there's a bunch of crystallized, or like recrystallized sugar back in the bottom. Because like the way I make this is it's very simple, you put 2 parts sugar, 1 part water in a pan, you heat it up, you wait for it to cool down, you shove it in a bottle, and you put it in the fridge. Theoretically, this should be shelf-stable, so you don't need to put it in the fridge, but I've had them go bad on me in the past, so yeah, in the fridge it goes, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, this stuff does last forever. Hey, there we go. Got it open. So, watch this here. We just want 1/4 of an ounce. I'm going to try and keep this right here, so be visible on camera. About that much. Going in there. And that's that done. Next up after that, that's actually a really good angle for the shaker. I should keep it there normally. Not be afraid to get, I've just uncapped it. I haven't even shown you what it is. So our next ingredient, oh, no, that is catching a lot. Okay. Our next ingredient, which is a lot of where I'm drawing the kind of herbiness of this from, aside from, you know, the cocoa leaf agua stuff, is we have a very special kind of Italian liqueur called Amaro Averna, which is kind of a mix of different Italian kind of like herbs and spices, I guess. I mean, specifically, as the back reads, the Averna recipe, a secret blend characterized by Sicilian and Mediterranean natural ingredients, was gifted to some dude ages ago. But yeah, so it's Mediterranean and Sicilian herbs and spices. Now, we're only going to want 1/4 of an ounce of this for 2 reasons. 1, it packs a hell of a kick. And 2, it affects the color of the drink quite a lot. We don't want a brown cocktail. So there we are. Again, we're just going for kind of like 1/4 of an ounce. It's probably a bit over 1/4, but I'm sure it'll work out. And then, if you'll excuse me while I go and grab the last ingredient I've forgotten, I'll be back in just 1 second. In fact, hold on, I have a back soon screen for this, don't I? Oh, hold on. Yep, there we go. Back in a second. Alright, and we are back. Yep, there we are. Now, you might be able to see, but we're already starting to get, like, obviously you can tell Amaro Averna has kind of mixed with the green quite nicely, and we're getting this kind of, well, you might be able to see what colour I'm heading for there. But if not now, then it'll definitely be obvious once I add the final ingredient, which is 3/4 of an ounce of good old orange juice. Good old orange. As Greg from How to Drink would say. I was going to try and be cryptic about that for a second, and I was like, no, just say it's Greg. We all know who we are here. Right, so... there is... Ooh. Yeah, didn't have that quite far enough out. Half an ounce, and then another... about half here. Well, half of that half, I should say, is 3/4 of an ounce. And there we are. That'll do on that. Now, all that's left to do is pop in a couple of ice cubes. I'm going to take out my ice cube tray. You always want to put ice cubes in shaken drinks generally because the ice will help keep the can sealed. Exactly how much ice you put in is kind of up to personal preference. I like to put in a decent bit. So, 5 of these little hexagons for whatever that's worth to you. And then we shall give that a shake. Although I've noticed, and I've had some, feedback and that saying like, hey, you don't necessarily shake the drinks on camera. And you're right, because shaking things here while bear hugging the setup is, actually that's a bit more doable than I thought it was, but it's still a bit of a pain. So I might finish it off here. Also, you can see how the cans have, like, kind of cooled where the ice is, and that seal is now very much on there. But anyway, in the absence of trying to shake it on there and it taking forever, I've come up with a genius idea. There we are. My passion for graphics design knows no bounds, truly. Right, anyway, back to shaking. Which I can do a lot easier from back here. And again, hopefully some of that comes through and doesn't just get filtered out by my audio gate. Hopefully it's not too loud either. I'm keeping a watchful eye on my OBS, and this looks like it's coming through fine. But you never really know with these things. Until you're, like, the person viewing the stream. That's it. We just want to keep shaking this, essentially until we hear the ice cube stop rattling, because then once they've kind of, like, melted into the rest of the drink, it should mean that the other ingredients are also nicely mixed around in there. Oy. Takes a bit of work, but I think we're getting there. Oh, I ought to probably stop doing that and knocking the camera. Okay. We are starting to sound good to me. So what I'm going to do is actually just grab something that I didn't grab beforehand because I didn't think I'd need it, but I think I might. Okay, right. Shaking done. This can wait over there. I can pull up the glass we're going to use for this. Open this up. Go. Outright. And then we're going to strain this in. Not because, to be fair, you normally strain drinks in that have, like, lemon or lime juice that you've just squeezed in there, so if you filters out lemon and lime little particles, I guess. I'm straining this here because it looks fancier. And this does technically have orange juice in it, so if your orange juice has got bits, then It's not a terrible idea. Ooh, hey. Made that up a bit more than I did last night. Or the night before, whenever it was when I was testing this. Actually, that's about right. Get that last little bit. Dead on. Yeah. So, if I can gently move this back into frame. Try and get a slightly better angle of it. Maybe move my camera a bit just for this bit. Really do need to keep my set a bit cleaner. It's gotta be said. Oi. And make sure I get something for Twitter for later. There we go. So there we have it. The Natural Remedy, which is a golden coloured looking drink. It's as close as I could get to gold given the ingredients anyway. Let's very carefully, because I'm realising how full this is, give it a try. See if my flavour balancing was right. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. It's very interesting as well. You definitely feel the Amaro. I'll say that. You get a lot of interplay between that and the Agua, I believe. And then you have the orange juice come in as well. I think, actually. And then the Midori sweetens it. I think what I've accidentally done here is created a drink that's essentially an alcoholic chocolate orange. I should probably have the drink on screen while I chat about it. I have no idea what camera angle I had in the previous streams, but like... Yeah, if I pick this up, is it any better? No, not really. It's actually, there, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah. We'll keep it held there, I suppose. But yeah, hold on. Let me have another swig of this. That is very good. So yeah. I think while the Agua doesn't taste like chocolate by itself, the interplay between the Agua and the Amaro Averna does definitely bring out like kind of chocolatey notes. And then obviously the herbiness of the Amaro Averna playing with the orange juice is really good as well. And then the Midori kind of is able to break it up and stop it all being a bit too heavy and serious. That is certified a thoroughly nice drink. Yeah. In fact, it's so nice, I'm going to go in for another swig. I'm often a bit remiss that I don't necessarily have, like, the most refined palate for, like, describing the tastes of these drinks. Like, I do my best with what I can, and, you know, working out what I can. And I don't necessarily have, like, the right, I guess, foodie vocabulary, as it were. But, yeah, I think that is a very nice drink and a proper kind of tribute to Miss Sarah's Fauna, even if it's not green. I'd say this kind of golden colour that we've got is actually kind of pretty great. I wonder, actually, does that come up any better if I... Sorry, I'm just going to try putzing around with some settings here. No, not really. That looks alright. Can't decide which lighting I like now. I'll stick with the one we were on before, which I believe was this one. If not, then, whoops, sorry. But, yeah. That's super nice. Honestly. I think I could quite happily have a couple of them and then be happy as Larry as well. We've got the strength, like going back to the charts, like, yeah, it's definitely, I'd argue it's still a little bit on the sweeter side, that actually. I thought I was going to go a lot more bitter because of the Amaro Averna and the Agwa, because they're not sweet liqueurs. Well, they're not sweet liqueurs or spirits, I guess, but, yeah, it's definitely leaning sweet. I think, well, I mean, if you put Midori orange juice and simple syrup and something, it probably is going to end up leaning a bit that way. But maybe I could have lent into the Averna a bit more. Or maybe I've got a crazy idea. Okay, I like this version of the drink, but I've got a crazy idea I want to try. Right. This is good, but like I say, it's a little sweet, and there's maybe a little something extra that could be going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly tip this back into my shaker. Yeah. And then I'm going to add just one dash of some Angostura bitters. Now, these are aromatic bitters made from God knows how many different things, if I'm being honest. There's yeah. Well, there is something in here, but it's in German, so God knows what's in it. But I believe this also fits the kind of, you know, herby, spicy bill. So let's just put one dash of this in here and just see what happens with it. There's our one. Hopefully caught on camera. Gonna just give that... Not gonna reshake it, because I can't be bothered with that, for being honest. Give it a bit of a stir. Get it as mixed through as I can. Go. And then we're gonna re-pour it into here. There we are. And let's just see if a dash of Ango's done anything to it. It's an interesting little experiment. It's done things, yeah. I definitely think it's taken the sweet nose off it. I don't mind that. But I do think it's a lot of up to personal preference whether you want to put that dash of Ango at the end or not. I think the drink stands fine without it, honestly. If I was drinking it personally, then I've just realised that mine... Whoops. My model's blocking the old name. Yeah, that'll do for now. Where was I? Oh yeah, before I noticed that. I think the Ango turns it into the more bitter drink I was looking for and gives kind of like an extra herb. Herbiness is the wrong word. It gives it a different kind of like aromatic flavor, shall we say. Yeah. I like that as well. But I think it's going to be up to personal preference whether you want to add that last dash or not. So I'll leave it in as an optional. But I like both versions of the drinks. Right. That is one drink successfully made. Hey. I am going to very quickly rinse out my shakers and get ready for drink number 2. So, for the last time this evening, I will be back in just a second. Okay, and we are back. Right then. Switch back over to here. And switch back over to... 1 second. Here. There we are. So that was the natural remedy for Sarah's fauna. A drink that ended up being weirdly chocolate orangey. But, yeah, I don't know why I paused mid-sentence there. But yeah, I think, definitely a thoroughly enjoyable one, and if you have the ingredients, I recommend you try it at home. It's a unique little mix that I personally quite enjoy. So, let's moving on to our next and final VTuber for the evening. The next drink comes, in... How am I going to finish this sentence? I should have thought of that before I started it. This next drink is being made, in honor of... none other than the great Rosemi-sama herself, Rosemi Lovelock. Who is a VTuber who both of these are VTubers who I watch semi-regularly. Like, perhaps not as... where am I going with this? I'm doing this a lot tonight, aren't I? Where I start a sentence and I'm like, I should think of how I'm going to finish this before I say it. But no, mouth is just go. But you know, both these are VTubers I watch semi-regularly and very much enjoy their content. I mean, who can't, enjoy, like, Fauna's, very much, like, I guess, hardcore persistence in Minecraft being the answer to, ID's Kayla, I guess. And, I mean, need I say anything more on Rosemi's fronts than, wobble wobble, is that true? Real ones will know. Real ones will know. But yeah, anyway. Rosemi Lovelock. It has occurred to me that I have not aligned the top of this slide right, but please ignore that. Yeah, so Rosemi's drink, anyway. Sorry, that is really bugging me. But we're just gonna have to make do. It looks, in fairness, the frame kind of helps it on the actual stream, but like I've got the actual slide up and I'm like, yeah, no, that's off. Oh no. Oh. So Rosemi's drink should be sweet. Hopefully no real questions why there. She is sweet. Sweet as a rose and all that. Strength. Gone quite weak on this one. I don't think Rosemi is very much of a drinker, at least with how innocent she acts a lot of the time. And I wanted that kind of bit of a personality to bleed over into this drink. Very not too complicated reasoning on this. I haven't got like a 7-step process of like, oh, this is why I decided this is, or this is why I've tried to justify this is after the fact, Sometimes we do. But yeah, this one's very straightforward. I went in saying not too much on the alcohol front. I think I succeeded. Complexity? Simpler than Fauna's. I hope that's more to the left of that bar than Fauna's, otherwise these bars are going to start looking real whack, but oh well. And hot-cold front? Very much cold. Probably should move this down a bit based on what I said last time we did one of these hot-cold bars, because it's not on ice or anything. And I guess it could be, but like, it doesn't need to be. So, other notes on this. So, a sweet, light, and refreshing drink was called for. I mean, yeah. all of the above is true. I haven't really got much more to add to that statement. This also incorporates some rose syrup as a little kind of secret ingredient to give it a unique floral feel without feeling perfumey. May I now present Rosemi's cocktail, the Regal Rose. So, let's grab our shakers, turn the old camera back on, and see if I can get that nice downward angle going again. Yeah, there we are, something like that. So, ingredients in this drink, we are going to start off with 1.5 ounces of tequila. Because that's a fun drink, It's a fun bit of alcohol. Feels weirdly appropriate is the only way I can describe this. Also, fun fact about this bottle of tequila. The shop I bought it from today, because I realized I was out, I was like, oh crap, I need to get some more of this, did not take the security tag off it. Fortunately, that has not stopped me from getting at the alcohol which makes me wonder why it's even there. I can only assume I'm going to get, like, raided at some point tonight or something, because I got this tag on me. I don't know. I don't really know how these things work, but, yeah. Nice one. You know, generic brand convenience store. You sure did a good job there. On two fronts, for not removing it when I bought it, and also for it not doing anything anyway. Anyway. 1.5 ounces of this, so we're looking for... There's one. Gotta make sure I pull that up a bit more before I tip it down. And a half. Ignore the fact that a lot of that went over the side. It'll be fine. There you are, and I will put... I've also, should mention, I've chosen Sierra tequila there because A, it's one of the only things the shop had, and B, comes with this funny little, like, sombrero cap, and who doesn't love that? Hey. Our next ingredient, which is a bit more on the pink and sweet theme, is going to be not the rose syrup, weirdly. It is going to be an ounce of this Coife Lychee Liqueur, which is a very beautiful color, and is also, like, yeah, as I said, it's pink, it's sweet, it's exactly what we want in this kind of drink. I also really like this stuff, I've got to be honest. Like, anytime I can try and put some lychee liqueur in something, I will. Because lychee's not a flavor I get a lot of otherwise, really. So, right. To make sure I can tip this all right. Let's do an ounce of this. There we go. In it goes. And finally... Well, semi-finally, I guess, technically. The, star of our show. Oops. Let's call that again. My gloves are getting ripped to shreds tonight. I don't know what it is about these lean caps, but they, yeah, they do not like the old gloves. You can probably tell the amount of, like, threading that's come off them. So our final ingredient, which I'm just gonna try and undo the lid on. Blooming hell. There we go. Whee! We have half an ounce of this rose syrup, which is, yeah. I have to admit, smelling it, smells like it's going to be way too much. Like, it's very full on, yeah, this is flowers. But I think in the drink I've concocted, actually works very well. So we're going to put half an ounce of this in. Definitely don't want more than half an ounce. Wouldn't blame me if you went a bit under half an ounce. But yeah, there we are. Half an ounce of that beautiful pink stuff. Which gives us this lovely pink drink. And I want it to be on record. This is pink. I think the camera, I've like Bailey tested this on camera before because it's a very mild pink. And oh, blooming hell, lid's not going on this. Why is that not? There we are. Got it. Yeah. It's a very mild pink, and I did try this on camera before, because I was like, is that going to show up? And, yeah, no, not especially well. But, we do what we can. Right. Next up, we are going for ice in the old shaker. Again, going to do another 5 cubes. Probably ought to get this back in the freezer, because it is all melting. But, you know, I've decided it'll be fine. Put this here. The weight of my sins will now become visible as I put this now shaking paper down, and it turns wet in several areas. Oh, I actually managed to dodge most of it. Nice. Right. Let's try and get it at least lined up, though. Let shaking commence. And again, hopefully some of this is coming through. At least when I'm not talking. If it's drowning me out, then that's going to be a bit more of an issue. But to be fair, I have no idea how the noise gate would interpret this. So, I don't know. Here's hoping. But yeah, once again, your golden rule with shaking these things is just kind of keep going till you stop hearing the clank of the ice. Or at least it's the metric I use. Maybe it's not the correct metric, but hey, it makes decent drinks for me. That's all I'm saying. I think we're getting kind of close now. Just give it a little bit more. I can still hear a little bit of clanking. And that should do it. At least that's as much as I can be asked to shake it. So we'll go with that. Right. We need 1 glass. Then we're gonna open this up. Gonna pour this in here. This is weird, kind of like white pink. When you pour it out of there. I'm not really sure why. I have to assume it's some kind of property of the rose syrup that makes it do that. But, yeah, it's interesting. And you might notice that that glass is not really full by any metric. Ooh. This is that close. So, once it's calmed down, I'm going to top it with lemonade. But, I have got a brand new bottle of lemonade here. It's a bit of a feisty one. There we go. Whoa, hold on. No, we're good, we're good, we're good. So here we are. This. Oh, God. Oops. Squeeze that a bit, but I didn't mean to. Just give me 1 second here. There we are. Just, ignore that towel that's in the corner of the screen now. It means you no harm. Right, anyway. Lemonade. Take 2. Getting the grip right on this is apparently a bit more difficult with gloves on. Which you'd think I'd be used to by now, but apparently not. Alright. How full are we looking there? Could do with a bit more. Don't want to shortchange people. Or I don't, anyway. We're in a corporate bar, it's probably a different, whole different story, but, at least, when you're drinking with me, I'm making sure you've got a good amount of drink, with a good amount of alcohol in it. Okay, let's move that to the side. Gonna give this a little stir with the old bar spoon to try and mix it through a bit. Go. And there we have it. 1 Regal Rose. Now, originally, I had ordered in some really nice, like, rose petals and such, like edible rose petals, which I was going to put in the bottom of this, and it was going to look very fancy. They didn't arrive on time, so I haven't got them with me today. But, yeah, the drink is still very nice, and to let you know that it's very nice, I have a very special guest. It is none other than Totally Rosemary Lovelock herself. Look at her go. And she approves of this drink, so you should too. Oh. But yeah, no, I also just wanted an opportunity to show off this Rosemary Lovelock stand that I got from my recent trip to Japan, one of the very many things I bought from over there. And yeah. This is probably going to need a clean now afterwards because I've just got lemonade all over it. But such is the price of making good drinks. I'm just going to leave her over here, observe. In fact, over here, observing. Yeah, there we go. Let me twiddle around a bit. Ooh, actually, before I get any further, let me move this to the side. And this out the way. And let's get a photo of this. Yeah, is this still in the way? Yes, it is. Hold on. Try another one. That is for Twitter later. Right, let's try out the Regal Rose then. Ooh. That's very nice, actually. The mix of, like, tequila and the rose liqueur gives it this surprisingly, like, earthy thing going for it. And then, obviously, you have the lemonade and the lychee and, I guess, also the rose liqueur, the rose syrup, not liqueur. Kind of making it a very sweet and a very kind of, like, drinkable drink. I almost want to say you could probably go half an ounce less on the tequila, because, like, it's definitely still present there. Yeah, because I think when I tried this, I actually did... Because, like, I came to write my... Full disclosure, I came to write my recipes up before stream today, and I was like, did I do 1.5 lychee and 1 tequila, or 1.5 tequila and 1 lychee? And I went here with 1.5 tequila and 1 lychee. And upon tasting it, I think I had it the other way around, which just means this has a slightly different... Like, it's still a great drink. It still has it has a slightly different flavor profile to the one I tested, which I think was probably a little more in tune for Rosemary, shall we say. So when I write this up in the description, I'll swap those two around and say like 1.5 lychee, 1 tequila. Or maybe even just 1 tequila, 1 lychee. Yeah, you know what? We'll go with that. 1 tequila, 1 lychee. It's still a very nice drink, though. Like... I don't mind the half a tequila, really, at all. Like, in fact, I think without it, it probably loses some character, but I'm trying to make, you know, I'm trying to make a drink as the VTuber in question would like. And I definitely feel like Rosemary would appreciate one that doesn't have, like, the... Even if it's a very subtle aftertone of, like, that kind of, like, warm tequila, you don't, you know, like... I feel like you just appreciate something that just tasted sweet and rosy. That being said, though, I'm still very happy with this drink. And now that I've presented that, I can look at the damage I've done to my carpet over here. Because, yeah. I think it happened mostly off camera, and I was fairly calm about it, but when I was pouring the lemonade in, and I'd say, oh, hey, can I just have a second to get up and go and do something? Yeah, that was fetch a towel. So I could mop up my surfaces. Because, oh boy, a lot of lemonade just went all over my floor, which I shall probably have to clean up, but it's fine for the minute. I think, yeah, it doesn't look like it's affected the carpet too badly, and it's not like it's going to stain or anything, so it'll be fine. That's how carpets work, right? I don't really know. Go on then, Rosemary. What do you think of this? Oh, really? Ooh, you think it's the best thing you've ever drunk? Yeah, well, I'm glad I made a suitable drink for you, then. Yeah. Ooh, hold on, let me get the depth perception. There we are. Sorry, I'm just being daft at this point. Oh. You give a man 4 sips of some reasonably strong cocktails, and suddenly he's all over the place. God, I am getting through that. That's the thing about this drink as well. It is very drinkable. Like, particularly if you did cut out the other half an ounce of tequila. And you can either switch it with more lychee or not, depending on how much you like the lychee liqueur, I guess. It is super drinkable. Like, I could down about 3 of these and then probably try and get up and be like, oh, wait, hold on. I've drunk, you know, several ounces of tequila. I need to maybe have a sit and contemplate life for the next 6 to 12 hours. Oh. But yeah, anyway. A thoroughly good drink. And I shan't try and pad this. Part of me wants to try and pad this out to an hour, but I shan't. I shall keep it nice and brief here. So, without further ado, thank you for watching this, apparently like a whistle-stop tour of these drinks. I guess I normally make some more kind of complex drinks that, you know, require a bit more faffing about, but this time I've streamlined the process to try and make sure, like, the stream is only as long as it needs to be. So that, you know, we don't have those egregiously long wait times in between drinks when I'm, like, fetching ice and that. Does mean all my ice is now basically melted, so I'm going to need to go and re-put that in the freezer and not use it for a while. But such is the price of making a half-decent stream, I suppose. Sorry, I'm going to try this Regal Rose again. That is good. And it is, like, I know I've just said it, but it is so drinkable. Like, that is so dangerously drinkable. Anyway. I have some carpet cleaning to do right now. I never changed the body text on the... God damn it. Yeah, we're just going to delete this. Pretend that I never forgot to change it. There's always something with these streams, isn't it? There's always something. Did I forget? Oh, well. At least this time it wasn't any of the ingredients, if you don't count those rose petals, which I didn't forget, they just didn't turn up on time because delivery. So I'll have them turning up now, and it'll be like, great, what do I do with, like, you know, 8 grams of, like, edible rose petals? Which is a weird title for them. I mean, anything's edible if you try hard enough. Anyway. And on that life lesson that you should absolutely not follow at home, unlike the drink recipes, which you totally should, and let me know, you know, if you make them, if you make any amendments, or, you know, if you like them as they are. I'd be very interested to know, because I'm very much going off the, you know, going off the seat of my pants here, as it were. Very much off my own bat, and while they are tuned nicely to my tastes, I'd be interested to see what a wider audience thought of them, if, you know, you happen to have rose syrup and Amaro Averna or something lying around. Which is unlikely, but hey, I don't know, maybe we've got a couple of amateur mixologists out there, such as myself. Or much like myself, not such as myself. Not that I really like the term mixologist, to be fair. Bit too fancy. Just, yeah, I like making cocktails. Anyway, I'm nattering on. I should be going. So, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you on the next stream. Farewell.